Hello and welcome to the class experiment. The need to carry on. Not the desire, the need. The thing that is imprinted in our DNA. Except for Gen Z. I don't know if that's like due to radiation or something just not. I don't know. It's like Toka and Reza. Remember? What was the phrase that was used? We became genetically retarded. Yeah. Come on, Ninja Turtles 2. How do you not know that? So, 2 years ago, we had the buck that we still have now, Rabbit, and this cute doe that I bought. And well, they had kids. Not goats, but pups. I believe it's pups for rabbits. So they had 4. They got bigger. We had to separate them, put them in a different place, because otherwise the boys will try with what's available if they're with mom. If you know what I mean. It's not a good situation. And they can start reproducing really quick after they're born. Matter of weeks, really. So, why do I bring this up? Well, the container that we put them in wasn't exactly as sturdy as we thought it was. It was made for chickens. Rabbits just kind of pry all that back and do what they want. They got a small enough hole that was big enough for them to squeeze through. And all 4 of them escaped and set up shop around the property. There's one obvious one that he was pretty cool. He had like a split face. One side was white with a white eye, and the other side was brown with a brown eye. Kind of stood out. He was the first one to kind of disappear. And I don't know if it was a fox or a coyote or a hawk or something that got him. Then there was another one that was living by the driveway for a while. And he would actually come out from the pine trees and greet me and stuff. It was actually kind of cool. So they're in the wild, but they're somewhat domesticated. Well, behind me, this little hole right around here. I don't know if you can see it. That is the last of one of their kids. It lives under there. Still out there. And the funniest part is, all of them were born with this white stripe on their nose. You know what I started noticing with some of the wild rabbits in the area? They're starting to get that white stripe on their nose. So I think he's a busy little bugger. That goes to show that even when the odds are against them, especially when the odds are against them, these little critters, unlike humans, will go out of their way to make sure that they carry on one way or another. And these are, man, what were they? Dwarf rabbits? Not like the full-size ones. They're slightly bigger than the whitetails that we have around here. Wouldn't you know it? If there's something out there they can pound into, they're going to find it. So yeah, I bring that up because I think about all of these people that are like, I just don't want to have kids. The luxury. It is a luxury. These third world countries where the only thing they have to look forward to is passing their genes on in the hopes that life is better for those that come after them. And life is so good right now here in our country that people are just like, nah, I'll just opt out. And I don't understand this new phenomenon of people getting married. It's because they love each other. And then willingly deciding, we're just not going to have kids. Dual income, no kids. Was it dinks? Is that what they call themselves? It doesn't make any sense. But they love each other. No. No. If they did, there'd be something else going on. And there isn't. What does end up happening is one of them starts getting bored of the other because there's really nothing gluing them together other than a piece of paper, right? Whether it's by the state or the church, there's really just a piece of paper. There's no obligation after that point for them to stay together. Trust me, I know this from experience. That is when one of them, usually, who decides, I think we should see other people. I don't want to get divorced. No, because that's the financial security part, right? But she don't need no man. I just think that it'd be fun if we just start seeing other people. I saw one of those stories. It's one of those Reddit stories that was going around. It had to do with this guy's wife. I don't know if she was invited or she looked it up, but she was like, I'm going to go to a swingers party. And the husband knew it had nothing to do with a 1920 style dance and jazz music. Oh no, he knew what was up. It was basically like, hey, you go to that, you're not going to have a home to come home to. So she called his bluff, and, well, she found out. The total definition of she blanked around and found out. No, these critters around here that I'm surrounded by, they make sure that they keep going. That is their prerogative. They will eat what they need to eat. They will bone who they need to bone. And they will keep going. Whether they are a predator or the prey, they are determined, domesticated or not, to keep going. We don't have that thrive anymore. Heck, even when we find a partner, it's like, rather not. Really? Part of it, I'm starting to believe, is that we are so comfortable in this country with our society, even though there's two stories that you hear, right? Oh, the economy's getting worse. You have no idea what's coming. It's going to be so bad. We have fat, homeless people, obese, homeless people with cell phones better than mine that I am currently recording on. That is how privileged we are. Oh, you have no idea how bad the economy is going to get. I have been hearing that for so many years now. And financially, and I'm going to say it this way, even materialistically, I am secure regardless of how the economy turns out. I don't have anything in the stock market. I have more than enough food. I have more than enough gasoline to get me around. I have more gasoline than Max did in Mad Max. I'm really here for the gasoline. He had, what, 11 lines in that movie, The Road Warrior. 4 of them were, I'm only here for the gasoline. No, we are so comfortable in this country. We have forgotten our natural priorities, what we are meant to do. Especially women. Especially women. The amount of effort it took to reprogram women to not listen to that biological clock, right? Oh, they listen to something. They definitely listen to something when they're getting that itch and Chad comes around. There's some guy at the bar where she's just like, oh, I'm pretty sure I can get some from him. 'Tis the weekend. I won't be walking funny by Monday. But as for actually producing anything, having any sort of real outcome afterwards, we don't do that anymore. We are no longer an optimized species. There's a reason why sharks are still here long after the rest of the dinosaurs have gone bye-bye. There's a good reason why chickens are still here. They're definitely dinosaurs. Feathers or not. Those things, some of the crazy shit that I've seen chickens do. But no, we have definitely lost that. And the weird thing is, the more successful people get in this country, the less likely they are to reproduce. Unless you're Elon Musk, you just ask somebody, hey, you want to have my baby? And they just say yes, and then wonder why you don't come around. Talking to you, Ashley St. Clair. Oh. No, it's weird. And a lot of people have been pointing this out. Like, I know people who make less money than me, and wife is pregnant with like number 5, number 6. We want to have 10 by the time we're done. I don't know how. Wealthy people say, I don't know how. And it's because your standards for everything else are too high. You want to go out and get your sushi, you have to have your $70,000 pickup truck. You can't, heaven forbid, you have a used pickup truck. Heaven forbid, your house costs less than $250,000. You got to have your annual vacation, maybe 2. Got to have your boat. There's all the things you've got to have for your status symbol. But kids is not one of them. It used to be you'd have kids and you would hope that they were either just as smart as you or smarter. And that was the goal, right? You wanted them to be smarter than you, to have better opportunities than you, to have a better life than you. And now nobody gives a shit. I don't even want to have kids. Fuck them. Meanwhile, China with their one-child policy, which they finally got rid of. They're allowed to have, as if the people in that country are property of the state, kind of like what they want to do here. They're allowed now to have 3 kids because you have a ton of dudes, a whole lot of dudes. They can't find a woman to marry. Dudes cannot have kids. It's a little different the other way around. They'll just find a surrogate, right? And they're arguing about who's the dad. Well, she gave birth, so I guess I'm the dad. Because that works out. And why is it statistically that lesbians have the most abusive relationships out of any sort of relationship? Gay dudes, not so much, but lesbians tend to just beat the shit out of each other. Wonder why that is. I thought words were violence, right? Isn't that where that's supposed to go? Like, aren't those the people that are like, words are violence? You can't say that. They're the ones that are also beating the shit out of each other, statistically. It's not men against women. It's not women against men. No, it's women against women. Fascinating. So, yeah, we've lost that evolutionary edge. We no longer have the desire to procreate. We won't even replace ourselves. I know so many couples that they just had one kid. And this explains everything. And then the guy gets snipped, right? And it's always the wife that's like, yeah, you should just get snipped. And then 2-3 years later, I'm pregnant. Must not have took. Uh-huh. So, yeah, that's a whole topic for another video. The whole guys getting snipped thing and women demanding it. I said no. Fuck no. Well, I'm not getting my tubes tied. Didn't ask you to. It's more invasive. I don't know why we're having that conversation. Well, I just think, no. My body, my choice. And on that note, keep on typing.